might just stop this guy and ask him has he got some information. So the man says it's all good to Popel's Corner, so we're on our way and wish us luck. First sand hill, not far away. Bye. This is about 20 k's out of Birdsville, and as you can see, these beautiful cream dunes here. Medium amount of minerals on the dunes, and then these enormous swales in between the dunes, these flat areas. And many of these were full last time I was out here 18 months ago. They had water, and much of these roads were closed. Very sobering little sign before you enter the Simpson. In addition to that, the track's a single lane. You can run into each other on the top of dunes, have a flag on your flagpole, and don't tow trailers and keep... No, not today, and I'm not going to thrash the vehicle to prove a point. So that's Big Red. And we're fully laden, and
you can take the easier route.
Come back another day and take the easier route. This is the northern Big Red, and the one that everyone has to have a go at. We'll go up a little way today, but I'm not even going to attempt to do the whole climb, simply because we're fully laden and I just don't want to thrash the vehicle unnecessarily. This climb here, usually you get caught when you hit this little corner, but because the sand's nice and wet at the moment, it looks like we might make it. No, we won't. But let's see if we can make it across on this more lateral approach. I cut out all that embarrassing backwards and forwarding. We had to go backwards and forwards a few times to free the vehicle, and now we do what most other people do when they've got to this part of Big Red, which is go back down again and think about doing it on another day. This is coming across one of the swales, lovely and green after the rain, being one of the first vehicles in this summer. You can see the road hasn't been chopped up and scalped too much, so he's hoping for a fairly corrugation scalloping free trip. And with the sand being relatively wet, means that it's much easier to travel on. So it's a case of take it easy and watch for stumps on the sides that could stake your tyres, because your tyres are down really low now and ballooned, so they travel over the sand with ease. And one of the things we want to avoid is revving the engine and getting the car to catch and grab as it comes up the dune, and that creates scalloping, which is makes it much harder for the person following. And here are remnants of the scalloping from people's tight tyres from last year's season. See the dune stretching off into the west there now. And one of these open swales with a clay pan and dune wattle and desert bloodwoods, samphires and spinifex grass. It's very important to have a red flag up on the top of the radio antenna or a flagpole, and regularly call on channel 10. All stations. This is a solo vehicle heading west 2 kilometres west of Big Red and yeah, keep your wits about you. It's very easy to do a rollover in some of these areas, and one of the things that's happened at the moment is that there are quite a lot of bush rat colonies, and often they will, you see some on the left there now, those piles of dirt with holes into them, and sometimes they've dug in under the road, and quite a bit of a scary shock when you drop into some of those holes. Water areas, remnant spots from the rain, as you can see, taking it easy and going around the side. This feels quite safe simply because it's another 3 or 4 sets of vehicle tracks that have preceded us. Otherwise I'd get out and walk it and check it very carefully before I attempted to cross those sorts of, whoa, little wet muddy type areas. The other thing you've got to watch for in some of these dunes is where you've got to go over the top of one dune, then there's another dune crest 10 metres away, and you ease off for the first dune and you just crest it, then you've got to rev up to go over the secondary one. We'll try and get video of that later. This could be proving more difficult than I first set out believing, and it's obvious that there's been 3, 4, 5 vehicles that have traversed this mudflat salt clay pan to the left, so I'll follow a set of those tracks and take it very easy. So it's a case of keeping the momentum up, not stopping out to look at the flowers, not that you get any out on these clay pans, and hoping that we aren't carrying more weight than whatever these vehicles did. So here I am travelling in a set of wheel tracks that somebody else has made, and fingers crossed that it's a safe traverse. It looks all okay, there's no much skidding like you see there, and looks good all the way, right the way out, so that's good. And then we come straight into this dune, so it'll be back to second gear, low range, and just poke up this, keeping the revs steady but not skidding the wheels, and in fact I think I'll come up to third gear and just make our way up here with nice sort of engine revs, not too much pressure so that you get to skid the wheels, and away we go. But I'm going to have to come back to second and do that gently so we don't jerk and jump, and makes for a good smooth trip up and over the dune and minimal damage to the road for the next traveller. And here we come out onto that open area of the 1200 dunes between Big Red and Mount Eyre. Love some of the shapes you get. This old man saltbush on the top of the hill on the left. Sometimes you come out here and I've seen them up 200 metres in the air in a big spiral as wheelie willies carry them about. And here we now drop out into another mud pan. We get these dune wattles that grow profusely around here, but there's a magnificent specimen right here on the top of this dune, which to me is very unusual, and I certainly don't recall it from previous expeditions. So either it's grown a lot, my memory's failing me, or this is a different track to the normal one. And over here somewhere, well, oh, there it is, the road. One of the riverine crossing sort of little spots, quite picturesque at the moment. No water, so no birds. This is the track down into Eyre Creek, which last time I was out here was flooded and we had to go about 50 kilometres upstream to a rocky crossing. But as we can see now, it's dry right the way across, and I'm hoping that we'll hunt around here a little bit up and downstream and maybe find a waterhole and pitch camp for the night. But anyway, we'll see how we go. But as you can see, beautiful riverine vegetation. You're getting a whole bunch of different eucalypts and box trees and other stuff mixed in here. That, sorry, I'm concentrating on the driving a bit, but there's the creek up there, and last time I came here that was about 2 meters deep, so it certainly wasn't worth attempting a crossing. This is the main crossing of Eyre Creek, and last time I was out here this had about 2.5 meters of water in it, and it was absolutely spectacular. There was bird life in water holes up and down the creek, and just absolutely delightful. As you can see, the water has washed quite a lot of sand up and around onto the banks for the approaches. Very classic scene of the northern Simpson, where we've got these quite pale dunes, and just the sun's angle at the moment makes them look almost white. Quite fascinating. And a swale here covered in swamp grass and samphire. Here we are, 60 kilometres west of Birdsville, and we're entering the Simpson Desert National Park. Please enjoy.